Alrighty. Ad should be gone now. We should be ad-free. So yeah, I'm just gonna... I feel like having a chill day today and not really doing anything that requires effort, but it is gonna require brain power. Now then. So... what we had the wall sticking going. The wall sticking worked pretty well, but what we need to actually do now is deal with these situations. We have to be able to deal with being able to come up and right around the wall. Very important we get these done. So, I'm under the assumption, because I don't think I did this last time, but I'm assuming that if I glue to the wall and then just go up, I'm going to just go through it. Yes, okay, so we haven't got the collision there, so that's what we should do first, is get the collision in for when you are glued to a wall. So if we bang our head on the ceiling, we don't go any further. We'll do up first, I guess. See, this is why I shouldn't have left this until next week, but I was, so next time I did this, because I'm trying to remember exactly what I wrote here. My V. Also, originally my playlist has another deleted video, which means something I just added to it just got deleted. Again. I think I'm cursed. I think YouTube watches whenever I add things to my playlist and then just deletes them from existence once they're done. Right, okay, so this is... Well, that's if you're stuck to the ceiling, that's not what we're looking for. Right, wait, is it? Yeah, that's if you're stuck on the ceiling. Did I not do that? That's if you go to the corner. Oh, there we go. That's why I changed that. I changed it to that, right. So. What I could do for simplicity's sake. Let's try this real quick. Left and right box, but plus wait, we called it something else up here. We called it stuck speed. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I really should have left this for like a week and a half. Really should have got back on this at the earliest convenience, because stopping in the middle of this is like really annoying. Right, so right. So, if these are both equal to 0, do that. Else... So, let's first of all make sure that works. That should stop us from moving up. Right, okay, but we get quite deep in. It's not quite where we want to be. Because, we want to be in the green, but we don't want to be deep into the wall. We are there. Also can't stick to this wall from here. Can from here, but we're going quite far, which is not what I want. It doesn't work that side though. What? Oh. Minus. That's fine. I forgot. Well, actually, that's only going to happen if you move up. It's not going to happen if you move down. Alright, so that's exactly where it needs to be. It's not going to work on the downward path. So, saw that momentarily. I've also just realized both of these are left checking, none of them are right checking. Oh no, that's top and bottom, I'm stupid. Wait, am I in the right one? No, I'm in the right one. It's because it's only on left wall right now. We're only doing left walls. Fucking hell. Having a moment today. So if it's only left walls, I don't need to actually check the right wall. I know I left comments for myself, but I'm actually not reading them, and I probably should have. That would have probably helped me. Alright, so... should just be ceiling for that. I don't think it'll be necessary for the floor because I think it will default to removing you from the wall. I think. I should test that actually right now. But it should remove you from the wall state. Oh, it won't because it won't because we have no collision that way. I'm a fucking stupid boy. Alright. Alright, okay, so I guess we'll do it for the other side as well. So if there's nothing for either side, then do that. That should stop it. Okay, I must be really stupid today. Why is this not functioning at all? Oh, because you haven't even fucking set it to look for anything. That's why. Oh, gay. Whoa, the tiredness is really setting in. Jesus Christ. Okay, that makes sense. Actually, wait, does that make sense? Or am I being really dumb right now? Yeah, I'm being really dumb right now. There we go. Oh. Okay, I don't really need the stuck speed, apparently. Why don't I need that? Oh, because stuck speed is set to 1. That is why we don't need that. Actually, yeah, it should be fine. That's fine without it. Okay. Fucking hell, man. That was ridiculous. So yeah, well, basically, if we get this to work on the left side, we can just copy it to the right side. It's not gonna be that big a deal. At the ceiling or at floor. So now we need to decide on which one of the two we've clearly run into. So we'll do the floor first. So if floor first. If this is not equal to 0. Hold on, ball stock. L equals false. There we go. To work just fine. Now, I have set it so that if you walk into the wall, you're slightly up, just slightly. That'll be a little harder to see when there's like better frames of animation than just a block. But also, it prevents from getting a situation where you're like both leaning onto a wall and on the floor at the same time and then causing like any form of confusion. I think it'd just be easier to not do that. So the floor works. So now, what happens if we're hitting the ceiling? So we'll use this. Now, FK right. So, actually, here's a question. I actually didn't think about that. If I go up here and I try to hit down, I'm stuck. Alright, okay, so. Right. See, that will not... okay. I think I know why I didn't want to do this, and I'm starting to realize potentially why. Wait, that should be negative then, shouldn't it? Why the fuck is it not negative? Oh, wait. No, that should be right. Hold on. Is that gonna unstick me though? Is that just gonna not make me stick to the ceiling? Even if I go... okay, it isn't. It isn't. That makes sense. This makes sense. I just wanted to double check because my brain's not on today. So I mean, I guess I can just do this here. I can just add a K right and a K down. Let me just Y plus equal stuck speed. That wouldn't be that big a deal. That should just work there, right? Yeah, that just works there. That's fine. Don't need to worry about that. Right. I'm not keen on putting it here like this, but it's whatever. It works. I'll work on optimizing it later. So if we hold K right, then stuck L is equal to false, ceiling stuck is equal to true, X plus equal stuck spin. Right, and now we're on that. Now we're on the ceiling. That just worked. So, I'm trying to think if there's any other thing I want to test. I think I should actually have, right, sorry, I just read chat right now, sorry, I do apologize. Any more comments than code at present? Oh, right. I know that feeling. I'm actually really bad at writing comments. I'm kind of trying to doing it more for the stream's sake, but I'm very bad at writing comments. Because a lot of the time I'm doing it for myself, and I kind of know what half of this is. And if I forget it, I go in and just re-look at it. So let me know if the volume levels are okay. I think they're okay. So we could just copy paste this into the other one, because this should be fine. Because being stuck on the right does the same thing, so... We do have to change a few values here. We first of all need to check against the right hitbox. All these, so just change all these over to B-box right. I'm beginning to wonder if it should be B-box right -1 or +1 or whatever the fuck we had before. We had that problem before that we could only fix it with grid check. We'll see though, maybe we don't have to. Left. R is false, ceiling stuck is true, X is minus, and if down, do that. I think that's okay, but again, I feel like B-box right +1, we needed it before, I'm wondering if we're going to need it again, so we'll jump on this wall. Oh. Interesting. Is this problem just being generated? Let's see. Oops. Did we just make this with this thing we just made? Or has this always been the case? Okay, we just made this problem. This is a new one. So why would that happen? Probably because I was correct. What was grid check again? Ah, right. It's right -1. That's what we did for all of these. It just worked when I did this, so I'm just going to do it again. Because I'm thinking it's getting into here, and it's not detecting anything, and then it's just like, okay, bye, and it just falls. That's my shot in the dark, guys. That's why if I'm holding right, it doesn't have a problem, but as soon as I let go, I fall. Okay, there we go. Whoa! Okay. We're going real quick on the right wall. It's because I have this here still. I forgot to remove it. So we can test this wall here and see if we, like, fall off. There we go. Alright, so that works. Now we go over here and we see if we pop in the ceiling. We do, and then if we hit left, we're now on the ceiling. Excellent. So that seems to work. Now we just need to do ceiling checks, and it's done in a very similar way to what we're doing here. And I think at that point, that will be the movement done. I don't think there's anything else I can think of that we need to be done with the main movement. Again, don't copy paste your code, but I'm actually tempted to just copy paste this code. But change a few things. So hold on, just stick that there. Get you out. Alright, so what are we checking? Well, at the moment we're checking if there's anything in front or behind us. So... left, and then right -1, and then top. We get to here, that should be that. Actually, make sure that works first before doing anything else. Oh, did I? Oh, I did. Did I remove that? Am I done? Hold on. Wait a second. Oh, I've moved it up here. Oh, and then I put the facing underneath it. That's why. Okay. Alright, never mind. Everything's fine. I was just trying to figure out where the fuck that went. Okay, so up in the ceiling. Oh, and we get jammed. Oh, we're still doing this shit. This is supposed to be here. There we go. I was a bit worried there for a minute. I didn't think I was going to stick to it. Alright, so we're fine. And now we get stuck in the corner. So we need to set it up in the same way here, where if we hit the other direction, we just go off the wall. Right, so okay, so I can't move the pet wall. So we do not need this line because you are not going to hit the ceiling and the floor. The player sprite is not exactly 16 pixels, so at no point should we ever hit a ceiling and a floor at the same time. This will be the check if we've touched... Pardon me. This will be the check if we've touched the... We're going to do left first, actually, so left first. You know, I was going through the list of games I need to stream, and I mentioned Grunts, and I mentioned a few other things. This is another game I need to stream, and it wasn't until I ran into this track again, because YouTube did that thing where it was like, hey, remember when you listened to this track like 10 years ago? Well, here you go again. I need to actually play Silver. I promised to play that back in like 2014, and I still haven't. Right, what are we doing? That's a good question, Vorto. What are we doing? I'll clean this up later. This is a disaster. This just needs an absolute cleanup. Absolute shit show. So yeah, I don't need to really check that. So we check left, minus stuck speed. So this is if I've hit the left wall. So if you do key down at this point, true, false, Y will be plus, and if you hit key right, then X plus equals stuck speed. If that is done correctly, then everything should work from left side, and then it's just a case of doing the same thing for the right side. Right. So then we just do the same thing for the right side. And I think that's us. Let's test it. We appear to have full wall climbage. It still has an issue with this, though, periodically. I genuinely don't know if it's because I'm too late at pushing up. Like, I'm just barely missing the window. I think I am barely missing the window. You really wants you to be right on it. Really wants you to be right there for it to count. So that will have to get sorted. Like, I could separate these into, like, ceiling function and left wall function and right wall function and keep them away from each other just to clean this up a bit. Probably what I'll do in a second. But, just holding up in this check. Okay, it's because it's checking against that. That is actually the primary reason. Which makes sense. Because when you bump your head on the ceiling, it's not checking up anymore because your VSP final is 0. So I could, just to test this for now, have a -1, so we have a little bit of a buffer. Now this will make things screw up a little bit. Or will it? Yep, there we go, see? So I'm worried about. Makes sense to just doing that. But it does mean we have a bit of a buffer. A bit of a huge buffer, actually. You know what? Thinking about it, I think we initially did the HSP thing because we were planning on something else, but it really doesn't need to have a value. Also, though, in terms of positioning, that's one of the issues with the buffer. Just want to check something. Oh, whoops. You can't do that because it'll be 0 by the time you get there. That locks in a position that I'm expecting it to lock into, but it's not quite where I want it to be. How was it full of that? Oh. That did not work out. Oh, it should be +1, shouldn't it? Right, that's not going to work the way I want it to. That's just simply not going to work. It does add the extra buffer, but it's not what I'm looking for. It should actually be plus equals VSP final, because it's always going to be negative if it is going up. Because Verity is a fucking idiot. Okay, now we're too high. You probably don't need the +1 at that point. We're slightly too high now. So I could do a little bit of finagling. Right, hold on. I want to test something real quick. So I actually think I know what value this should be. Uh-oh. It's not the value it should be. Oh, it's because I'm setting VSP to 0 now. Right. Actually, whether that's the problem. Maybe I was right the first time. Again, I shouldn't have left my code alone. That was very stupid of me. Okay, 14 is correct. Oh, see, that's a little awkward. Now I think about it. I'm gonna set it so it doesn't look for the up key. Because I don't think Flood looked for the up key. Actually, did it? Actually, wait for me to check this. Hold on. Gather evidence online. Let's see. Hold on 2 seconds. I'm gonna mute the stream for a second. I'm very glad I did, because what I was worried about just happened. I'm loading up a gameplay video of Flood real quick. I want to check on it. It's mainly a check, because I know he jumps. I just wanted to see if he sticks to the ceiling immediately, or if he can bounce off it. I think you can bounce off it. This would actually probably be easier if I was just load up the Atari ST myself and test. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm better off just opening up the Atari ST myself. I do apologize. Right. Give me a second. I'm gonna go actually load up the game myself. Oh, I need the controller, don't I? Shit. I'm gonna need the controller plugged in. The Atari ST will be looking for a controller. You have been derailed. Right, kill spot in. It's just a reminder for me to fucking dumpster dive. Okay, hold up. And just boot this up real quick so we know what the fuck we're doing here. It should be the disc it's currently in, right? Yes. Is this gonna show up? It doesn't look like it is. It should. Oh, here we go. There we go. We're going to use this version of it because it's just more convenient to do that. Right. Fast forward. T, whatever. I just wanted to test. Right. So if I jump, will I auto stick to the ceiling? Or will it not better?
Let's go.
It auto sticks. Ah, I didn't know it auto sticked. Okay. Actually good to know then. Yeah, I let go of up as soon as I press it and that happens. So now it's a question of, do we want that? Would I prefer having it be something where you hold up? That's the real question. Anyway, sorry, sidetracked. Very sidetracked. I'm gonna leave that up just in case I want to look at it again as a reference, but for now we'll leave it. Actually, probably should leave it open. I just open the folder again if I really need to. Alright, so that is interesting to learn. I think I will keep it to holding up. I think that's what we'll do. So what I needed to do now is lock into place properly. Again, if you're not holding up, but then again, do I care? Like, you really should be holding up if you're intending on doing it, but the amount of times I've been too late on holding up. I've been too late multiple times. When you start going down, that's it. It's over. I'll have a think about it. But it does seem like we have the walls working now. Everything seems to be alright. Let's see if we can break it. It seems to work just fine, mostly. Yeah, no, it doesn't seem to want to break. That was a bit weird, though. Interesting. Is the first time you go into a corner? Oh, it's because it changes the wall you're stuck to, that's the reason. It will default to the left wall after the first jump, that's the reason. Because you've got, because of the thing that's happening here, it will default to the left wall, which is the reason. So using the first jump doesn't move doesn't move back, but then the other ones do. That makes sense, that makes sense, okay. Alright, well, I feel like the movement's fine now. Movement is kind of where I would like it to be. I can deal with the upward direction later, I guess. One thing that doesn't exist, I suppose, is if you're holding down and left when going off a wall. But if for a second we remember that we may be using a D-pad, we wouldn't be able to hold left and then right. So it doesn't really matter that much. I feel like most players would not care about that being a feature. So I think that's fine then. I think we're good here. I think everything's sorted. Now, I'm likely to probably make this less garbage in the future, but again, we get it working first, and then we deal with optimization afterwards. At the moment, it works exactly how I want it to work, so I'm not gonna fucking touch it at the moment. Let's just get all this code in here. So that should be all that. It's just to make it cleaner and easier to find where shit is, I guess. Alright, I said last time I was going to put weapons in the game, so I guess that's what we'll do next. Thinking about it, I actually should do this. So we just don't, rather than running these scripts all the time, we just ignore them unless the actual thing has been met. Should do the same for these two. Again, you don't really have to do any of this. This is just for me to keep things a little cleaner. Oh, that makes sense, because grid check has not been called anywhere. Is this in here? So yeah, I guess we don't actually have to do any grid checking either. It doesn't really matter. You just put this in every one of them just as a var. We don't have to do this every time. And that should be that. Oh, forgot to actually include the comment. Okay, and that I think is everything. So now we can do things like that, and that, and that, and then we can tidy up a bit. Make it a bit less cluttered. And just double check that I haven't broke everything upon doing what I've just done. No, it seems we're good. He can move around just fine. Alrighty then, weapon. Oh, we're doing that, aren't we? Yeah, we are doing that. I guess we go here. How do I want to do this? We do an enum. We know there's a grenade and a mine. I'm just gonna leave it there. I don't know if I probably should do a state machine. But truthfully, I don't think the game this simple really needs it. What the fuck?
Hello again, cat. Do you know when it's a game dev stream?
I think he knows. What time is it? It's only 9 o'clock. You want outside or you just want to be a pest? Let's see.
Okay, you want to be a pest? I'm getting pest.
If you want to come up, you can come up. You know how it goes, Alpha? You have to sit behind me and meow all day. Actually, it's not a mine, it's a time bomb. So there's a time bomb, there's a boomerang, a shuriken, a flamethrower. I don't remember if it has anything else. I'm not going to play through the whole game to see if I can figure that out.
Alpha, what, man? You can come up if you want up.
Fucking Christ. Okay, let me go see if he actually wants something. Well, what do you know? He wanted something. Alright, anyway, I don't remember what other weapons that we have in here. We'll just make it with what we have. We have 5 things. Actually, weapons probably a good idea here. Weapon equals. I'll change. Weapons dot. Oh, we need none. We need a none. So by default we have none. The weapon script shouldn't be too difficult to work on. That should not take long at all. So, this actually should not be that long at all. Weapons. Is that not what I called it? Why did I put a semicolon in? I did call it the weapons, yes, okay. Cool. So it really would be as simple as if the player presses the button, it fires whatever projectile has been assigned based on what object, I guess, we give it. Right, in that case, we should probably make something. We'll make a new sprite real quick. Sprite, here we go. Granado. Shouldn't call it that, but I'm calling it that because I'm probably going to remove it at some point. One of these days we are going to do like proper sprite work, but right now we're not. So, a little green grenade. We gotta give it like a border of some kind. I know the original grenade had like it was silver with a stripe. I'm gonna do like a cartoon bomb for now. Paint it green. We go all fancy if we really wanted to. But this is a temporary thing, we're not gonna really stick with this. There we go. There's your grenade. Granado, hold on. Collision mass. Well, they don't explode on contact with enemies, so I guess it doesn't matter. We just want this for when the grenade is bouncing. Okay. So, I'm gonna need a new parent in here. I'm gonna create object p proj. I'm just calling it pproj for default because it's going to be the projectile. Its parent should still be master, I think. I don't think there's any reason not to. I don't think it has anything to worry about. Everything here should be fine. Other than that, that should be off. It's not ignore collision. Gravity is on. Actually, gravity should be off for all projectiles by default, but I can turn it on at any point. You can still use the character script, which is fine. Right. And everything else seems to be okay here, so... So, unique to this... I mean... I could do damage. I could do damage. The projectiles, most of the unique variables will probably have to do with their animations more than anything else. Right now we don't have to worry about that. And damage I also don't think we have to worry about. So I'm going to add a lifetime. Just how long it will last. Or doing, either doing what it's supposed to do or despawning. I think the flood grenades had like 3 seconds prime, but I'm gonna just do 2 just to make sure that it works, I guess. Actually, I'm not even giving this anything at all. Default to 1 second. Default to 3 seconds, yes. Default to 3 seconds, we can set that up there. Right, so object, create group, projectile, and in here, got another one, player. I may want enemies to do projectiles, we'll see about that later. Oh, grenade. This parent should be master. And then asterisk script. Wait, no, it shouldn't. It should be projectile. You set it up on purpose, Vortel. You forget that part. Alright. So for the grenade test, just to make sure this works, I'll put it to 60. Now we should actually have some unique code in here for this. Should be told it could be its own thing. Oh, whatever. Right, script. Script, here we go. So, I just realized what I've done here. I'm just gonna do weapon script for now. Weapon script. Wait, why would you do that? Why would you be that stupid? Maybe we keep these separate. Should do that. Put that in there. Rename it. I'm gonna rename it to grenade. Oh hey! I actually changed it here. I don't think it used to do that. That's actually really handy. I feel like I remember before renaming it here and then it not changing in here and then it running into a problem or two. Or maybe it was the other way around, I actually don't remember. Doesn't matter. We got this here. Okay, so. Lifetime. Shit. You know what? No, I was actually right the first time. I was actually correct the first time. Could have this be weapon script and it could give... Oh wait, no, that'd be just... Projectile script. Projectile script. Right. Projectile script. We go back to this. We add... Did I move this up or is it stuck? It's stuck. That's fine. I was actually hoping I can move it up. So this doesn't actually need the inject section. So we can just put this here. Probably made more sense to actually have done that in the other one there. Vortel, did you fix it? Fuck out. I had a bit of a brain fart. I just realized something I did a while ago that I could have done much better, but whatever. We're here now. So. Should be -1. Yeah, this is for the, for this. If we go to the grenade, then we set it to grenade. Probably should differentiate it. Wep grenade. What? Okay, does anybody else ever have this issue where they look at a word that they know is correct, but now they're worried that they've spelled it wrong? For some reason I thought I'd spelled grenade wrong. I was just looking at it several times over. Thing is, okay, yeah, this is what I did last time. This is what I did. This is my bad. You're gonna rename it here. And then it renames it there. Okay, so. This is when I go to search it. If I want to actually look for a specific weapon, I just type wep instead of, like, yeah, I forget the name of it. It'll just be easier for me to keep track of in the future. Like, grenade. So we just, yeah, just go for wep grenade. Christ, I made a mess of this. Right, so this is really what the grenade does. This is what the grenade spends its life doing. So for this applies to all. If lifetime is greater than 0, then lifetime minus. Else. I guess in this case, it'll be instance destroy, but I'll probably do something else. Instance destroy. Maybe I'll set up like a variable that's like explosion or something that happens at the end, so it spawns that. That's easy enough done. Yeah, it does. Some like, I hate it when I look at a word that I know I've spelled correctly and it just looks wrong for some fucking bizarre reason. Right, so much like that, if we go to the master script, we have this part here that says if active. So let's put that at the beginning here. So if active and if weapon script is not equal to -1. Does it still think I have weapon script? I hope not, because I don't have weapon script anymore. Nothing should happen here if I push play here, right? It should all be fine? Yeah, okay. Also hear the cat being a pest again, it's trying to break into the house. Yeah, the cat has decided it's going to be an arse tonight. There we go. So yeah, this should just now run the weapon script, which in this case will be the grenade. You need to give the grenade a spray. Should be that. So you can probably just do it very similar gravity to how it's done in the player. It should still have a HSP and VSP, like because it inherits from the master. Although, oh no, I think that'll be fine. Oh, that'll be fine. So what should happen now is nothing, because I haven't actually set it to spawn. What I can do here, back to the player weapon, so... So, switch weapon. I didn't type that out right, did I? Oh no, wait, because the... yeah, whoops. There. That should be right. So, actually, you said this, so F, K, fire. We fire a gun. Should we fire P? We have not set up a fire P. Because if we just hold fire button, we're just gonna vomit grenades like crazy. Which, some weapons we might, Now that I think about it, some weapons we might want to hold down. Okay, so maybe I should actually check inside the case rather than do it that way. So I'll check it inside the case instead. Because like the flamethrower, you want to have it held. So you should always check if the fire button's pressed, but in this case... Fucking hell, I can't type. There's one. Oh, grenade. So from here I can give it a HSP of other.facing. And... Oops. This VSP can equal -3. And if I haven't goofed this should be fine now. And a grenade should just come out and then it should disappear after... Well, give it a longer lifetime. It's only going to be 2 seconds. It's only going to be 1 second. Let's give it a longer lifetime. Let's give it like 300. And then it'll hit the ground and it will just sit there. We have goofed. We're not doing anything. That's because we're set to none. That's because we're set to none. I forgot. Oh, look at it bounce. It's not bouncing the way I'm intending it to bounce. But that's fine. I know why it's being weird about it, but it's not doing what I wanted it to do. Right. So we got them spawning at least. I wonder, actually. Nah, it still doesn't. That's just what I wanted to check. I assumed it would still do it, but I just wanted to double check on it. That's fine. We don't. I don't actually need to do anything beyond that. So for the grenade. Then we just check below if it hits the floor. I don't really check if it's the B-box bottom. I don't really check anything else. Probably X is fine for this. I don't really need to check the left and right side. I'll have to check it when I go to bounce off the wall, but I want to get rid of this, get rid of flat land. Whoa. That's still top. Haha, you're done. Right, there we go. Let me rearrange the level so that I'm not having to climb to the top of this, because we know climbing works now. Okay. So it's not actually landing on the ground like it should be doing, which means there's actually a problem with the collision period. What size is my player sprite? It is 16 by 16. Ah, it's actually interesting then. So something in this vertical. Actually, have I set a default gravity for everything? I have. That may have been a bad idea. Gravity may have been something I wanted to manually assign, so same with friction. These should actually be in the master thing. I think I'll do that. That is... Yep. Everything so far is fine with the values here. I think the needs maybe a bit on the heavy side though, so... Right, so we can just get rid of these two. I'm gonna assign gravity to the grenade. Make it a bit lighter. Right. Well, I have the bounce situation, but I need to figure out why the collisions are being a bit weird. This might work out the way I want it to. Kind of shooting in the dark here. Okay, it's a little too much. There we go. We're getting somewhere. A little bit less. I'm magic numbering a little bit, but I just wanted to get a sense for things. So I think 3, maybe 2 hard to throw. So back in the player's script. Maybe 2. Maybe 2.5. You gotta sort this out. I'll figure that out later. I'll figure that out soon. The whole sinking into the ground thing is kind of interesting, so I really need to figure out what the fuck I fucked up the collision code. I fucked something up, clearly. Probably something to do with the height, actually. Probably got something to do with this fucking line right here. Weirdly enough, it's actually not giving me a problem in any other thing I've done, so there's something here that, something here I've goofed. This is gonna break the player, but I want to check something. Right, so it is this line. Because it works just fine now. Old code might be coming to bite me in the ass. I should bounce when I do this, right? Yeah. Everything should just kind of bounce. Makes sense. What if I just put a grenade on the map? Oops. Oh, that's what I did. Oops. Figured out what I did there. Nope. Nope. I forgot what layer I was on. Okay, that's actually kind of weird that it syncs in with that. That's strange. Oh dear, I think I may be getting called out by my the engine I've made. There's something I've clearly goofed. Why does it keep wanting to go in the floor? He's fucked it. He's done fucked it. So it's here. So that stops it bouncing. Does that actually break the player in any capacity? Actually, I'm wondering if it means I can float in the air. Ooh. No, it doesn't actually. Okay. So that stops it from being weird-ish. Oh wait, hold on, am I doing it twice? I am. That's why. That's the reason it's phasing through. I completely forgot I was doing it twice. Ah, you idiot. That's the reason it felt so heavy. See, when it gets to 0, it will be a bit weird. And we'll try to bounce back up. Right. And actually, what's happening here is we are eventually going to get below the ground because we're going to... Right, okay, so... Still popping in. I wonder why that's happening. Shouldn't be popping in like that. Yeah, it still pops into the ground. That's weird. Why is it doing that? Actually, it's probably because of this. That does mean it'll bounce forever, actually. Now that I think about it. Wait, did I just collide with the other grenade? No, okay. It's kind of adorable. It's not really what I was intending, but... I think the grav's not high enough. At the moment, I'm experimenting. I think it's the way I'm doing the calculations here. So what I can just do instead is just do times equals -1, and then ESP plus equals or minus equals 0.5. Whoa, let's get the shit out of me. Oh wait, we're doing ceiling, aren't we? So it's gonna... Yeah, it's gonna get higher rather than lower. That makes sense. Yeah, so because I'm doing it like we're doing a because we're rounding the numbers, the bounces aren't gonna look as smooth. Why am I here? So I can actually change this to like 4 now because now that we know we're not as crazy as I thought we were. Yeah, that looks a lot better now. That looks a lot better. Alright, so let me just check what happens if you bounce against the wall. That should be fine. So it doesn't matter if it's left or right side, it will just go the opposite speed that it's currently going at. Unless it decides to just fucking not move at all. I know why. I know why, because the initial collision is kicking in, which sets it to 0 because it thinks you're against the wall. Alright, well in that case it could just be simple enough, and HSP will always be the same in every one of these grenade tosses. What did I set it to? Was it 3? No, I didn't set it to 3, it was like 1, right? This is primitive, but whatever. Don't forget the -1, because apparently it doesn't work unless you do that. What? Huh, it's still not bouncing. Interesting. I also think the we should influence the speed of the grenade depending on how fast the player's going. That'd be important, I think. It should just be just all of the HSP. That doesn't really need to be facing. Actually. No, that's fine. Wait, no it isn't, because, yeah, that will happen. I think we need both of these. Just a little some speed. Right. I need to figure out how the fuck I screwed this one up, because like, I understand they're supposed to stop when they collide with the wall, that's the kind of the way I made it happen. I could give it the bounce property. You know what? Let's just do that. I can give it bounce property, so we can add a new one to the master. It's called bounce. Because I could do it with monsters as well. It may not be a bad idea to do it with monsters. As a matter of fact, that would actually probably be just great to have that period, because what I can do is set it so that, like, if an enemy walks into a wall, it will quote-unquote bounce by just turning around and going the other direction. So I can just do that with everything. And then we can go into the collision here. I'll just say wall bounce. Stop it, else. And then just HSP times equal minus 1 as well. I think that will work fine. There we go. I actually forgot that we stick to walls in this game, and I was like, what's going on? I know what IDE is. This does it not say it in the top right? It should say it in the top right. Yeah, it should say it. I can see it on the stream. But if you really want to look at it, if you really want to know what one it is, V2024.14.3.217. I think it's the most up to date. Question mark. I'm actually not sure on that one. Right, anyway, so that bounces work. Yeah, it works. Okay, bounces work. I think we need to be a bit more aggressive with the bouncing though, with the like orb bouncing. It doesn't quite get to the ground quick enough. Well, if you do that, you get the weird flickery bounce there, which is what I don't want. Also, I've actually got nothing for where it hits the ceiling. Actually, no, I do. Do I? No, I don't. If it hits the ceiling, it's gonna freeze because of how things are set up. Maybe I should also just apply bounce to the ceiling as well, rather than just the floor. If I do this here, it's just gonna go into the ceiling, isn't it? Oh no, wait, whoa! Never mind. It's gonna do the weird bounce on the floor, which is fine because of what I just did a minute ago, but it actually bounced off kind of okay. Although it gains its speed. Which is interesting. How are you... Oh, wait. I think I know. No, I don't know why. shouldn't be gaining the speed like. Whoa, that was weird. That shouldn't have happened. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna go back. I know why it's doing the weird bounce. I just wanted to check something. So. Made. It's here, right? Yeah. Actually, okay, so it should be popping out of the ground. I don't know exactly where I fucked that. I've clearly fucked it somewhere. I can stop it from doing the weird bounce, because it should stop. Is this number not high enough? Maybe the home number's not high enough. I should probably set a temporary variable for this rather than constantly do what I'm doing right now. Why is it insistently going into the ground? That's why. That's why it's going into the ground. Oops, forgot about that line. That's exactly what it is. But then if you bounce off the ceiling, hold on. I'm definitely having a brain fog day today. We are really having a brain fog day. Christ. Do I need to do this, actually? I don't need to do this. It's already setting gravity, isn't it? That just fucking went, apparently. Wait, hold on, what? Did I not set it to do gravity things? Gravity is not on. I think I turned it off by default. Oh, this is the reason everything's broken. I'm dumb as fucking paste. It's still flying off though. Okay, fine. As long as it's still flying off, so that's not the reason. What the hell did I do? Alright, I have to go back. He has to go back. Because he's fucked up somewhere. Where is the gravity stuff? Oh, oh wait, no, I haven't done it in there. Oh, what are you doing, boy? What are you doing, boy? What was the point in having the gravity variables if you're just going to put it in each individual thing? You fucking dumbass. It should be in the master thing. It shouldn't actually be in its own world. That should just be there. There's no reason to be anywhere else. There. Now we've got weird numbers happening, but that's okay. Now that we know that that's there, I also need to set it so that it only does it if gravity's on. This is what happens when I get a little too ambitious and I go ahead of myself and I completely forget there's a bunch of stuff I haven't done yet. So what we do here in the weapon grenade is... Okay, now I'm a little more confused because it's bouncing correctly, but it should stop bouncing when it hits the floor, and it's still doing it. So we're back to where we were. Okay, I need to see what your numbers are, because I've clearly goofed up some somewhere. That is strange. So the number doesn't actually matter. There is just something weird happening. I think technically speaking, I don't need to fix this because the grenades aren't going to live that long, but this is now bothering me, so now I feel like I need to fix it. What I don't get is why... There we go. Why this isn't, like, overriding it. This should just kick in and be like, oh, well, I guess we stop bouncing now. He's obsessed with popping out of the ground. It shouldn't be final. It may be final. I don't think it should be though. I think that's actually irrelevant to this. But I want to just double check something. Yeah, it's irrelevant. I thought it would be. Just wanted to double check. Because if that did end up happening, then I broke something entirely. I just wanted to double check that wasn't it. I'm trying to think of what it is. I'm gonna do something a bit odd. Okay. So it's actually got nothing to do with this then. It's actually got nothing to do with this. Right. So it is the collision. I have goofed the collision somewhere. Oops. And it is in this lane right here. Don't know if this should break anything. I know I've just got two of those. I wanted to just double check something. Actually, why would that matter? What are you doing? That's not gonna matter, you fucking twat. Why would I do that? Oh god. I'm so tired today, my brain is really just doing the worst shit. Like, let me have a think. Let me have a think about this. I actually think it is because of this. I think it's because I'm not using the gravity. Maybe. Maybe. Because the player's fine. Nah. I get rid of that, it's just gonna do it again. Yep, okay. I need to figure out why that's happening. I need to be able to get it to land on the ground and stop. I actually think it's because the number is getting really small. And I don't think the player gets to that number. So what I could do... Would that work? Would that be a good idea? Probably not. Because it should set it to final? Actually, hold on. No. Yes? I've just had a thought as to why a problem might be happening. I'll get to that later. That should still bounce, correct? Yes, that's correct. Exactly what I was expecting. That should also bounce, yes. Yeah, that's fine. Why am I struggling with this? I really feel like an idiot right now. I really feel like a genuine twat. The whole point of the height variable was to prevent this from happening. Wait. Oh, that just makes it worse. Interesting. I don't even need this variable, actually. I can just do grid size here. Well, that doesn't seem to have broken anything. Oh wait, no, yes it has. Ah, we have broken something. Interesting, we can't glue to walls anymore by doing this. Wait, why the fuck not? Why would that interfere with that? Oh, never mind. There's apparently a problem that exists with the players that didn't exist before. Gravity. Gravity. Gravity is the problem. Holy shit. Okay, so when you are on the fucking wall, we must be sure gravity is not on. So if we're stuck ever, gravity is off. There we go. Okay, well, I think I fixed it now. I think everything's back to working again. Cool, right. Let's go back to what we're doing. That took a lot longer than I would like to have fixed that. So I could probably actually, like, bring that closer to the ground now. What we initially had. Does that also mean that I can remove this last line I put in? Oh, I've already removed it. Way ahead of myself. Right. Let's see how that goes. Neat. I should actually set the facing for this. When you throw it. Oh, that's just gonna keep going faster. Wrong way around. Wait, should it? No, that should be going faster. Yeah. So I was right the first time. I actually said it so if it goes beyond a certain point, it should stop doing it. Yeah, because then it goes backwards. Right, yeah, we should do that. So probably 1.5. It just means that getting even faster. I feel like that's also wrong. That's getting faster, not slower. Why is this not adding up in my head? Okay, there we go. What do you mean absolute 1? What the fuck do you mean? Wait, what? Oh my god. Whoa, Vortail, you are really on the fucking ball today. Jesus Christ. This is now a comedy stream. This is actually now a comedy stream. I don't know why I'm looking for the absolute value of a value I already have. Fucking hell. Right, anyway. No, that's not what we want. Oh wait, hold on, I understood this then. Wait, fuck, I'm so stupid, we have a friction. I might have to stop. I have to stop. Holy shit, I keep forgetting so much. We added a friction for a reason. Why are we checking that? We should actually be doing that instead. I really don't know what's happening today. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm really sorry. I really do not know what the fuck is up with me right now. Yeah, it's gonna get faster. That makes sense. So now it should be that. Just let that just get faster again. Yeah, it is getting faster. And then it went slower. Jesus Christ, that was louder than the rest of the songs today. Maybe the volume up that loud. Let me do this again from the beginning. I've clearly confused myself after trying to find Abs 1. I've clearly fuddled this whole thing in my head. Yeah, it is kind of. It is kind of. I'll just do it from the beginning instead. We'll just... That should be minus. There. Except, why is it not doing it in the other direction? Oh, because it's not... Because when we bounce off the wall, we don't change the facing direction. That's why it's still facing the same fucking way. That's the reason it keeps speeding up. There we go. Wow, that took forever for no reason. There we go. Now we've got it closer where it should be. Now that's impressive. I don't know what happened there. Okay, now I need to figure out why the fuck is ran to a halt. I knew I shouldn't have got rid of this event. I was like, yeah, we've got it. I don't need this anymore. The good news is the grenade is probably going to be the biggest pain in the ass to actually get working. After the grenade, everything else is fine. Because nothing else bounces. So I'm assuming the VSP is equaling 0. No, don't lie to me. You weren't working a minute ago. I watched you slide across the... Oh, there we go. That one's sliding across the floor. I should also say that I should also state it so that if it is on the ground, then it's not moving anymore. If gravity on is there. That's going to cause a problem if we do it that way. Actually, you know what? If I do that, I'll be fine. Why is it not slowing down? Oh, probably because this doesn't actually matter. Hold on. This is so stupidly complicated. Again, I'll go back and fix it later. My brain is mashed potatoes today. I am fucking everything up royally. Okay. It's still sliding at the same speed. Actually, shouldn't this be and? Why am I doing an or for that? It doesn't look like it's getting slower. This is not getting slower. I don't know why. I think I am hitting like the worst kind of mental fatigue right now, and I'm not sure what the fuck is wrong with me. Yeah, it's just not doing it. Now, why would it not do it? Actually, why are you even doing a check? Just do that by default. I don't need to do a check. Just let it do its thing. Okay, it's just not doing its thing. Why is it never getting in there then? Is it never gotten into this part here? And I just assumed it always has? Does it never get in there? It doesn't get in there. I assumed it was getting in there the whole time. That's the reason none of this is working out the way I want it to. I thought I was getting in here. So do I not need any of this then? None of this is relevant. It will not be equal to 0 though. That probably won't work. Oh, maybe it will. Okay, why? Actually, it won't because it's not exactly 0. It will... That should be it. It'll never be equal to exactly 0 ever. Okay, I'm fucking lost now. What the fuck are you doing, man? What is happening with this? Like, what is this value then? If it's not that, what the fuck is it supposed to be? I think I'm just genuinely brain fried today. In the worst possible way. Technically higher than gravity, though. Interesting. Why the hell would that be the case? This is sad. This is sad, man. Should be on ground. That should be what we're doing here. Is it not getting onto the on-ground status? Is that the problem we're having? I'm really sorry this is taking me so long, guys. I do not know what is up with me right now. This is like some of the worst shit I've done in a while. There's gotta be a number somewhere I've just scrambled and I haven't realized it yet. Like, okay, it's not getting under the on-ground state, right? That's the issue we're having here. It's never on-ground. Never mind, it fucking is. It is on the ground. Yeah, it is. So why is it when it's set to on-ground, it doesn't slow it down? This shouldn't be plus, should it? Oh wait, that's gonna interfere with this though. Right, hold on. I mean, it shouldn't interfere that much, but maybe that's the reason. No, it shouldn't, because if it's on the ground, that should kick in, and it should just stop immediately. Oh. Oh, you dummy fuck. It's this. But it's on the ground, it doesn't have any more speed anymore, so it's not checking directly below it. Like it should be doing. If I do that, it'd be a bit weird, but it will slow down properly. Yeah, it'll be a bit strange, but it should slow down, like it was intended to do. Right. Yep. That was it. It was because of this check here. See, this is why. No, that makes sense. that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay. Nobody panic. Although it's going to do it the other way as well, because I haven't set the facing for the object yet. Anyway, my programming prowess just blows, okay? It just does. Like, this shit happens all the time. That's why I never tell anybody to, like, look up to me as, like, some sort of fucking programmer, because I'm absolutely fucking not that. That is just not a thing I am. What if we go a little higher than that? I don't actually think that should matter that much, but I'm trying to sort of figure out why it's doing that. Oh, because it's not minus. You haven't put a minus symbol there, boy. You haven't put a minus symbol. So it's just gonna fly off the screen. It's gonna do it anyway. Why? Why? Oh, because you've got it the other way around. Oh, he doesn't stop, chat. It doesn't end. It doesn't end. I need to put on like cloud makeup. Why is it still doing it? What have I done this time? How the fuck have I screwed this up? Right, do what you did before. Start again. Start again. Now that we know what's caused it before, start again. Is it because of this lane? It might be because of this lane. It shouldn't be, though. If I do this, it should actually maintain the exact same speed. It should not have any issues. Or it can actually just work perfectly fucking fine. It actually just works completely... It can just work fucking fine. It doesn't even need this line here. Because we're now doing this check, and that's why we don't need this line here. Oh my days. Essentially what I was doing is that if I actually got rid of this line, the other line I made would have worked. But I had this one running simultaneously with the other one, and eventually just had its issue. And there we go. My grenades are now fucking working. Jesus fucking Christmas. That took fucking ages. Yep, that route's fine. We're all bouncing like fucking crazy. When you land on the ground, they slide like they're supposed to. I actually think I should not be throwing them as high. I actually think the faster you are, the less height they should have. That's more height, you dingus. That's the opposite direction, because you want them to be negative. Maybe not that much. That might be a bit much. Maybe divided by 2. So maybe we could start with a higher number. If you're standing still. Throw them up places. Five is quite a lot, actually. Maybe that would actually make this fine then. Yeah, that makes it fine. That makes it better. Okay. And again, that was like the hardest one to get down. Like, this was definitely, like, I'm glad I did this today, but this was definitely a brain scrambled moment. I definitely just dropped the ball hard on this. This collision fix was interesting though. It makes me wonder why I did it last time and why it didn't work here, but it worked on another game. I'll have to look into why that is. Either that or this was... I think I mentioned this before in the previous stream. There was a change to how... like the pixel coordinates on like hitboxes, where they start. And that might be why I did this before, and it worked then, but it doesn't work now. But then again, no, that doesn't matter, because my more recent game, it works. Maybe it's a massive coincidence that it works in the other games, and I've never actually realized it yet. I'm gonna have to double check it. But this works fine now. So, yay! Grenades done! Holy shit. And then we can just add things to it, I suppose. Where every time it bounces, we can be like, image angle plus equals 90. Have it rotate every time it bounces. Maybe not like that. Oh, wait. If HSP is not equal to 0. Honestly, I could just set it so that it just spins. So like if lifetime mod 8 is equal to 0. So if there is no remainder on the current lifetime number, just have it spin. And does it make sense, Fortel? I know why. All this should happen outside. That's why. All this should happen out here. There we go. Now it's spinning. Hard to see though. I can give it like a green tip so that it's easier to see the top. There we go. Should also just give it the image X scale it goes facing. When it's bouncing off a wall, it can go the opposite direction and be fine. Not that it's really noticeable, but yeah, that's fine. That works. And as long as HP is not equal to 0, keep it rolling. Actually, what I could do, I don't need to do this, what we can do is use image 90 times facing. Okay, minus then. I think it has to be in the opposite direction. Yeah, there we go. Opposite direction makes more sense. So it rolls depending on the direction it's currently going in. There we go. Grenades are, at the moment, done. Complete. It's over. Finito. I don't want them to explode a lot sooner than they currently do, but I am glad that we got to the bottom of a lot of nonsense. They should last about 3 seconds and then go kaboom. So the thing with the grenades is they have quite a wide explosion. Might need to make the spread itself taller at some point, because I actually think the actually no, let's do it now. I actually don't think it's tall enough. I think it needs to be like 12. I think the grenades need to be a bit taller. Probably 12 by 12 would be a smart idea. But nah, maybe not. Never mind. We'll leave it for now. I don't think we need it. Yeah, just drop a quick thing. Something like that. There we go. It was quite tall. That's okay. I think that'll be alright. I think that will still work. And before it doesn't, but I think that will still work. Yeah, there we go. Then the HSP, when it bounces, should probably be a bit stricter than what it is. So, probably friction times 2. Actually, set this as its own variable for now, so I don't fuck this up. Some of that. Yeah, I think it needs a stricter friction on bounce. For me. Now, in Flood, they actually do kind of bounce around a lot harder on the ground. Like, when they're completely on the ground, they just keep bouncing and they keep sliding around. I'm kind of fine with them sitting in place, though. I decided I want to change it later, I will. Right, okay, so... that done, let's do an explosion anim. It's going to be a small animation. Just to get the ball rolling. So, they're really big in Flood. So probably double the height. And this width seems about right, honestly. They're very big, so... oh, god damn it. Am I gonna need Aesoprite for this? Because I don't know where the fuck the middle is. There's actually a way to find that. If I do that and go back... okay, that's the middle. Alright, we found it. For now, this is the middle. So we'll just do a big explosion. Nope. There we go. Is this? Whatever. Let's do a little dopey explosion. It doesn't need to do much. We're just conveying the boom. Then we grab half of this and move it across to like there. Should actually count. Thankfully it tells me down now. Whatever. It's not quite on par with what I wanted to be, but it's older. Right. It is. When everything is set up, I'm absolutely loading up Aesoprite, and we're just gonna go ham on sprite making, I think, but right now we're just doing this. Interesting. Can I flip this? Oh, mirror. Apparently I couldn't do that, but I'll just do that instead. I should have done this from the get-go, actually. It would make more sense to do that. I actually need to design like the character for this still. There's like a lot of stuff I haven't done. Oh, that's not dead center, is it? That's not even close to dead center. I've only just now realized. It looks alright. That doesn't though. The last one can go away. And then I guess we'll just have this like dissipate. Probably just make it this circle at the end, just to give it that. Just really quick. Okay. So I'm trying to think of how I want to do this. I think for the sake of simplicity, I might do two things. I might produce a special effect item and a hitbox item. I can make this a square. Like, I can make each frame a square. The collision mask I can turn into precise per frame, but I can have it be squares, which I actually think is a bit easier to work with. So this doesn't really matter here. This is whatever, the hitbox doesn't matter on this one. But I just want to get the effect going, so I'm going to create a new parent. This one's going to be different. I'm not going to follow the master for this one, I don't think. Should I? You know what, we still could. We can actually still follow the master one for this, because there's enough information in it that we can just take over. But I'll be doing more with this. But I think for now, it's actually fine. Oh, I know what I can do. I can snag a piece of code from another project and just plop it in, because it works every time. Nobody look at what I'm doing in this screen. You're not allowed to see it. Even though I'm showing it on stream, you're not allowed to see it. It's illegal. You're not allowed to see that. Let's see. Just take any. Take this one. This right here. I take this thing right here. Grab. Right, we're gonna copy this. Because this is a very, very useful piece of code. What this does is that it is guaranteed to look for the very final frame, no matter what your room speed or whatever, or your game speed. And then when it finds it, you can then have it do a thing. So what we can do in here, now that we're back, script. Just create a script here, I guess. Script. SFX. I don't like calling it that, but we're going to call it that for now. So, we can stick this in here. Now we just do instance destroy. For this. Yeah, so this looks for the final frame. Actually, I'll just go that. And it does this thing. I could probably have this be in its own script. But I don't, because I suppose what I could do is execute a script when you get here. And I could assign the script. I could do that, actually. That wouldn't be a bad idea. You know what, let's actually just set this up as a script we can always run, assuming that this will work this way. Let's actually make sure this works first. Let's make sure this actually does what I wanted to do first. So, so we go to FX, and we want it to run the script SFX. That's sound effects, isn't it? In my mind I said stage effects, but it's actually sound effects. Isn't it? Oh, okay, it can also be used for special effects. Okay, that I'm gonna call it S effects. Because I'm probably not gonna call sound effects, I'm gonna call it something else. So anyway, we wanted to do that. The FX. What I can do here in the Granados is... Actually, we do it in the main weapons. Projectiles. Here we go, in the projectile. Did I set this up yet? I did not. What we can then do is add def script. No. Death effects. We're gonna do that. We're gonna actually make it an object instead. Create an effects folder here. Actually, do we do that? I'm gonna create an effects folder anyway, but what I'm actually gonna do is gonna put this in a projectile. For now. And I could put it in there, it really doesn't need to be in there. Doesn't matter, don't care. Sprites, grenade, right. So what we can do there, and its parent, oops, no, we don't need that, we never need those. Its parent is FX. Actually, no. No, that's... we don't need an object. We don't actually need it. I'm making this more complicated than it needs to be. What I can do here is... and a boom. Nope, that's the P projectile. Nice one. And the grenade. And then here. And that should just work. No one. Now it should just work. So that should be set up now. Assuming I haven't fucked it, we should be fine. There we go. It moves a bit too quick, but it worked. Set to 15. It's also not wide enough. It is a lot wider in Flood. Wait, what? That should not be carrying any of these over to the FX. Hold on, I'm just really confused. Why did it just do that? I shouldn't have to do that, but like, why did it just do that? What? Oh, because gravity's on, isn't it? The FX should have gravity off by default. That's why it's doing it. One day you remember his own code, chat. One day you remember it. Today is not that day. Alright, our grenades now explode, and do as I'm told. Yeah, the explosion is much bigger than Flood, but this is all about just making sure the effect works. Okay, so I never even made half the progress I wanted to make today. But I'm gonna be honest, I feel like my brain is scrambled. Like, oh, Moji Mama, we were having a day of it. But the grenades are in. That's good.